Good morning and welcome back to another video. So we're on a weekend adventure in our motorhome, extreme zoom, in our motorhome Dinky Doo, and we're in Wales, we're in North Wales. We stayed overnight last night at the Great Orme, and we're on our way to Anglesey, and as we were just coming out of Conway there was an RSPB sign for a reserve. Now I'm fairly confident that I've been here before, but it was a significant amount of time ago, so definitely worth a revisit. And if I remember rightly, and I'm probably going to be proved wrong now, this was a good place for godwits. So maybe not, and I've no idea. We've just arrived in the car park. I'm going to go down to the information centre and see what's on offer at this RSPB reserve, but I can never resist just calling in. It's definitely worth popping into RSPB reserve, seeing what's there, and taking you along with me for the journey. So come along with me and see what I see. So just checked in at the information centre. I would always recommend that you do that when you visit RSPB reserves, because the guys there are only too happy to share with you what the recent sightings have been, what you're likely to see, where to go, where to spend a bit more time looking for things. So I've done that this morning already. And what we've got the chance of seeing today, you've probably seen it, the image on the board. If not, I'll pop it up on the screen now for you. But we've got lots of small birds that we've got on offer. Things like the whitethroat and lesser whitethroat are things that I'll definitely be looking out for. Then we've got the great crested grebe, we've got the little grebe, we've got some little egret and great white egret. Birds that I've photographed in the past at other reserves, but definitely things that we'll be looking out for. And then there's a small chance of us seeing a kingfisher at a certain point on the trail. Whew, it's busy.
Saturday,
it's Saturday, yeah, and the weather's nice.
So it should be busy.
Yeah,
it's busy.
Absolutely it is. Too busy for me though. We've come away from that. Now what was nice there, well, I'm going to talk about the negatives first. The first thing is the hides, glass fronted, and you can't lift up the glass, which means that you're photographing through glass, which means that the images are awful. I don't know why they do it, I really don't. I'm fairly certain that even from a bird watcher's perspective, it's better to have your telescope poking through something than it is shooting through the glass. So that was a little bit disappointing. And then the only place that I could really get any images was a viewing platform between the two hides. Second thing, it was mad busy in there. But what was beautiful, and what I did manage to just catch sight of, was that there was two little grebe, male and female parents, and they'd got 3 chicks, and they were actively hunting, and the little chicks were bobbing around on the surface, and every time they resurfaced, the little chicks would fly over to them to see if they got any catch that they could take off them. So that was nice to see. We continue. Let's see what we can find. So it's a mixture of hides and viewing platforms, and the viewing platforms have all got that stereotypical screen with little viewing holes to look through. So we just called in at the first one there, and wasn't a huge amount to see, definitely not somewhere that I want to spend bags and bags of time at. But what's lovely, and I'm certain the audio won't pick this up, but as we're walking through these reed beds that you can see all around me, the wind is blowing through them, and it is just such a beautiful sound. The only downside is you can hear the A55 probably about 200 metres that way, which is drowning it out slightly. But I'm trying to block that out and just home in on the mindfulness of being here and the bird song and the wind through the reeds. So we're in the second hide here, and this one thankfully has got lift up windows. And it's been a really, really nice sort of 40 minutes we've spent in this hide. I would say it's probably one of the largest gatherings of little egrets I've ever seen. There must be, I would say, 30 to 40 little egrets on the centre island. They've all took off, which was really nice to get them a shot of multiple egrets in flight, and they've landed over to the right hand side. And then the other thing that's been quite interesting here has been curlew. So there's been lots of curlew flying through. There's a group of probably about 20 curlew, and they're moving through the area. And again, really nice to photograph in flight. As always is the case at places like this, you're sat up high looking down on the birds, which makes portraits of them at water level rubbish really. But what it does give you is the opportunity for birds in flight, because usually as they're flying over the top of this marshland, they're at about eye level with the hide. So there's some really nice opportunities for birds in flight there. It's quite bright today with interchangeable lighting. It's a cloudy sky, so we go from very, very harsh bright sunshine to quite a muted light as the cloud passes over, and so you definitely need your auto ISO. And I'm shooting predominantly, I would say, between f4 and f8, and my shutter speed has been well in excess of 0.002 of a second. How about that then? A whistle stop tour of RSPB Conway. I'm certain if you come at kind of optimal times of the day, you know, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, you'll probably see this reserve at its best. We're midday now and the light's really harsh and it's hot today, so battling that heat haze as well with anything that's probably anything more than about 15-20 meters, you are battling heat haze with your shots. But lovely, lovely reserve, really nice cafe, really nice shop, and definitely worth a visit. So on and upwards to Anglesey. Ooh, now I bring you to some pretty spectacular places with this channel, but I would have to say this rivals most. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you South Stack, and what an absolutely spectacular vista this is. Now it is incredibly windy at the moment, and that wind has got a real bite to it, so despite it being 17 degrees and lovely sunshine, most people as you look around are wrapped up nice and warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way down on the cliff path here, and I'm going to make my way left from the visitor centre to an area where there's a little stack, and I think is probably a good place to start my search for choughs. And that's what we've come here to see, the chance of seeing a chough. So let's go and see if we can find one. I've found myself a very windy spot atop the cliff tops. If I turn the camera around, you can see I'm sat right on the edge of the cliff, and target species has been acquired. There is 2 choughs just on the rock to the side of me, took flight. I've got some record shots, nothing of note as of yet, but I came here to see choughs. I've only seen choughs once before in my life, and that was on Scoma. So this has been quite a nice thing to see. Now it's going to be just a case of tracking the bird and then seeing if I can get into a position where I get a better shot for it, or hanging on here and hoping that they just come close enough so I get some decent photographs. I'm hoping that the audio's not been blasted to bits and that this dead cat on the end of the microphone is doing its job, because it is windy. I'm being blown about no end, and tracking the birds when the wind gets hold of the sun visor on the end of the lens is hard work. Let's see if I can get some decent shots of it now. Moved into a little bit of a better spot, and there is a pair of chough just below the ledge here, and every now I can hear them calling all the time, and then every now and again they're flying up and they're interacting in midair, and then they're dropping back below the ridge line, and I can't see them. I don't know whether to move round the cliff to see if I can look back towards it, or whether I'm best off just staying where I am and seeing if they come to me. It's amazing to hear them, incredible to see them interacting, but the speed at which they're interacting and just appearing behind the cliff edge is making it very, very difficult to capture those photographs. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? So I will press on and try my luck. Now I'm going to refer to this spot as the best seat in the house, because I'm sat on a big rock right on a little peninsula that juts out, and I've got a really good view back across the cliff face. And this is an area where I've been watching the chough hunting along in the grass for whatever grubs they can find, and I can hear them calling now. So I'm going to get myself nice and comfortable and hopefully get some shots and some video, if I'm not blown away, which is a real possibility. Just goes to show that patience and perseverance pays off. So I've just got some really, really nice portraits of the chough on a rock ledge just to the side of me. I'm probably now within, I would say, about 15 meters from that ledge. So the effects of the heat haze are starting to diminish, and I'm getting much cleaner shots. And what that's been a case of really has been sitting and watching and learning as much as you can from the subject that you're photographing. And as I've been oyster catcher, as I've been watching them, I keep seeing them coming back to the same post. So I've been edging closer. There's another chough coming across now, and getting us three chough in front of me, getting myself into a nice position and then waiting for them to come to me. I've no doubt that these are going to come back round and get into this position now, so I'm going to crack on and get some more photographs. I might even concentrate a little bit and get some video, because I really have been concentrating on the stills so far. So I've come inland a little bit now from the cliff face, and what you've got at South Stack is, once you come inland, you've got, as you can see behind me, moorland, heathland, and it's absolutely alive with stone chats, with linnet, with skylark, which you can hear just coming down, parachuting down now and singing. Oh wow, that's going to land really close. Beautiful. So I'm just sitting down, getting myself comfortable and seeing what comes close. I've already had a very close encounter with a stone chat, both male and female, and now I'm going to just see if that skylark won't come a little bit close. So we've kind of come to the end of South Stack. We came to photograph choughs. We've certainly seen them, and we've seen a lot more beside that as well. We're now going to head off to the Air, where we're going to stay overnight, and then tomorrow I'm hoping that we're going to go to a tern colony where there is a chance of seeing Arctic tern, common tern, sandwich tern, I think, and possibly even, if we're really, really lucky, a roseate tern. So fingers crossed, and I'll catch you tomorrow.